Hi, this is Frode and welcome to this video. Today you'll learn how to remove the someday disease, the power of relative income, a huge time waster, a liberating fact about long-term travel, and the point of life. And on this channel I did pick my favorite 5 big ideas from books that help us think differently and actualize our potential. So if you're new here, you can consider subscribing. And today we have another great book, The 4-Hour Work Week. Escape 9 to 5, live anywhere and join the new rich. It's a book about how we can join the new rich, those people who abandon the deferred life plan and create luxury lifestyles for themselves using the currency of time and mobility. And the book is written by Timothy Ferriss, who is regarded as one of Fast Company's top most innovative business people. Wait, let me check if it's just right. Yes, and among a huge amount of other experiences, he is the best-selling author of the book The 4-Hour Body, and he is also an angel investor and advisor of companies like Uber, Facebook, Twitter, and over 40 other different companies. Tim is a really colorful person. But now, I guess you're ready to receive some great ideas, so let's just get started with the first one, the someday disease. Tim talks about how he asked his mom how she decided to have her first child, and he said, well, it was just something we wanted, and we figured out that there was no use in putting it off. The timing is never right to have a child. But that's the way it is for everything. All of the things that are most important to us. The timing will never be just right. The stars will never align. The universe won't conspire against you, but it won't either go all out of its way to line up all of your pins. And Tim says that someday is a disease that will take your dreams to the grave with you. When I considered starting a YouTube channel where I would deliver these great ideas, I was hesitant because I didn't think the timing was just right. I didn't think I was good enough at talking English, so people would understand what I've been saying. But 5 months later, I have gotten a great momentum, and I know that this is something I want to be doing. Now let's put the spotlight on you. Are there any things that you have been putting off because you didn't think that the timing was just right? Tim's advice is to just go for it and adjust your course along the way. And then you'll figure out if the timing was in fact right. The next big idea is absolute versus relative income. Let's start by defining what these things are. Absolute income uses one holy and inalterable variable, which is the raw and almighty dollar, while relative income uses 2 variables, the dollar and time, usually stated in hours. Which of these are the strongest? Let's consider an example. Jane earns $2,000 per week. John earns $1,000 per week. Jane earns more in absolute income than John, but does she earn more in relative income? We need some more facts. Jane earns $2,000 per week, but she works $80 per week. John earns $1,000 per week, but works 10 hours per week. If we, to find out the relative income, we just divide the absolute income by the number of hours worked. So Jane works 80 hours. We divide 2,000 by 80 and find out she earns $25 per hour. John earns $1,000 per week, divided by 10 equals $100 per hour. John is, in fact, more wealthy than Jane in relative income. And this is the fact for the new rich. Since they value time and mobility, they will choose less work to live the lifestyles they have chosen for themselves. The next big idea is eliminate time wasters. And Tim says that there are a lot of easy ways to eliminate our time wasters. And one of them is to limit the access we have to things we think require immediate action, like our notifications for our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or our emails. And he says that Email is one of the single most important time wasters. It's one of the things that wastes the most of our time. And Brian Tracy echoes this wisdom in the book Master Your Time, Master Your Life, where he talks about the curse of electronic interruptions. He says, "It is estimated that the average adult today spends 3.5 hours each day checking apps, email, and text messages. Without them even knowing what is happening, people addicted to these distractions will find their hopes and dreams for the future slowly ebbing away. As they spend more time reacting to electronic interruptions, they do less work, and they do it poorly because they are continually being distracted." And Tim shares some great ideas for how we can get more time for doing our most important stuff and stop getting so distracted all the time. Number 1 is to turn off all distractions for Facebook, email, etc. Number 2 is to check social media only 2 times per day, preferably at 12 at noon and 4 p.m. because those times are the times when most people have answered to our messages and mails. I adopted this idea immediately, and what are the results? I am a lot more focused, and I am able to get a lot more work done while also feeling much less stressed because I'm not continually being distracted and torn away from my work. These are the results you also will experience if you adopt this idea of turning off notifications and checking social media only 2 times per day. The 4th big idea is mini retirements. Tim talks about how he had a lunch with a college friend, a college friend he had before, and that friend would soon graduate from a top business school and return to investment banking. He said that he hated returning home from the office at midnight every day, but he said that if he worked 80-hour weeks for 9 years, he could become managing director and earn a cool $3 to $10 million per year. When Tim asked him, "Dude, what would you do with that much money?" his friend said, "I would take a long trip to Thailand." And that just illustrates one of the hugest self-deceptions in our modern age: extended world travel as a domain for the ultra-rich. Tim says that if you want to take a long trip to Thailand, sail across the Caribbean, or take a motorcycle and ride it across China, you can actually do all those for less than $3,000, because he has done all 3. And one of the reasons that this is possible is because of the differences in the global currency. If you live in Europe or America, or any other place that has a strong currency, you might travel to places like China, Japan, or Thailand or Bali and live pretty luxuriously for a long time. We're talking months and years on a minimal amount of money spent. It is a bit of an investment, but you don't have to be ultra rich to do it. Now, I'm not here to force you into taking any long vacations, but why not check out some traveling sites and just see how much a 2, 3, 4 week vacation costs in one of these countries like Japan, China, or Thailand. The last big idea is the point of it all, talking about life. Tim believes that life exists to be enjoyed, and that the most important thing is to feel good about yourself. Now you ask, how do you enjoy life and feel good about yourself? And based on dozens of interviews with the new fulfilled, new rich, this is what Tim has found out. A good life exists of continual learning and service. First, let's talk a bit about continual learning. Tim says that he has quit several jobs because he has stopped learning in them. He had learned everything he needed to know, and therefore the learning curve dropped, and therefore he got bored. So instead, the advice is to choose jobs where you can continually keep learning. And regarding service, this is just your way of improving the world in your way. Through entertainment, making people laugh or cry, or through education, or whatever. Now, you may think you can't just keep traveling all the time, learn new things, and give our whole life to one cause. But Tim says that we should just use these things as life hubs, which are starting points to new opportunities and experiences that we wouldn't experience if we didn't start on this path. And Chris Guillebeau echoes this wisdom in his book Born for This, where he talks about expanding your choices to find out what you really want to do. And he says, try a lot of things. Over time you discover something that requires more of your time and attention, and that's when you switch to focusing more and more on that one thing. For now, know that the opportunities are endless if you just get rid of your someday disease, waiting for the timing to be just right. What is the one idea that resonated the most with you? Embody it a bit more in your life right now. And if you like this video, you'll probably like Master Your Time, Master Your Life by Brian Tracy. Thank you very much for watching this video. Looking forward to sharing more great ideas with you soon. Have an awesome day. See ya.